Welcome. The Dreamwalkers are back for another chapter. Let's pick up where things left off in the previous chapter. If you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe.
Day 30. My name is Neil, and it has been 30 days since finding out that I am a Dreamwalker. I was not given a lot of time to really process this new facet of my life, but such is life. After that night, things have been coming at me fast and furious. A whole new world was opened up to me, a world of both wonder and danger, as I would soon come to find out. To begin with, as customary, I was introduced to the High Council of Dreamwalkers, also known as the Council of Eight. They pretty much welcomed me and congratulated me on passing the test. I found out that that night was the last chance I had at becoming a Dreamwalker. If Uday had managed to kill me in the dream realm, then my connection to the realm would forever be severed. I was more of what about me? Would I have died? They assured me that one could only perish in a nightmare, but only under certain circumstances. After the introductions, Uday and I were immediately put to work training on increasing our bond since my initiation took so long. There are no classes. This wasn't Hogwarts. Each Dreamwalker is paired off with a more experienced Dreamwalker. This begins their training. I was paired with a Dreamwalker named Jonathan. Jonathan is an older male, and if I had to guess, seeing that I never asked, was around 42 years old. He was tall and well-built, but on the slender side. His guardian is a hawk, but not a normal size or looking hawk. His guardian's name is Sokar, and looked more like a shadow of a hawk. He explained that through years of bonding and training, he and Sokar can merge as one, giving him the ability to fly and heightened eyesight. Up until now, Uday had only appeared to me in my dreams, but with time I would be able to summon him. For now, Uday would remain summoned until our bond was stronger. Over the next few weeks through our discussions and training, I found out that some Dreamwalkers can use magic, although those are very rare abilities for a Dreamwalker. Jonathan said that I should be patient with the bonding process, but I couldn't help lamenting the fact that I started so late in the game. I am now 21 years old. I was so wanting to see what abilities would develop between Uday and myself. Our training consisted mostly of hours of meditation. In addition, we engaged in combat training to improve our teamwork.
Being a Dreamwalker isn't all about fighting. There are many other things that you must learn. One of those things is that as a Dreamwalker, you are more like the police of the dream world. More often than not, you will be tasked to watch over a dream and its dreamer to make sure things go as they should. The real danger comes when they venture into the realm of nightmares. It is there where they have no control. On some level, the dreamer can control their dreams. This is not the case when it comes to nightmares. Nightmares are no big deal. But within these nightmares are creatures that feed on the fears and negative emotions of the dreamer. If this goes on long enough, they can become very problematic. So much so that they can threaten the life of the dreamer as well as cause the veil between the dream world and the real world to be opened. This is referred to as the merging. This has happened on occasion in the past. And this is why we train. These creatures can only be killed by weapons imbued with the essence of a Dreamwalker. These creatures are called Night Fiends, and they are ferocious and can take your life if given the chance.
With that, my day of training was over. I would get a few more months of training with Jonathan. As such, half of my time was spent in the waking world, and the other half was spent in the realm of dreams, as we called it. The realm of dreams exists in the dream world. It is a place cut out just for dream walkers, and at its center is the great dream catcher that floats above a grand building with numerous paths leading to it. There are statues of past dream walkers along the paths. It all floats on dreams that appear as clouds. The place has a heavy mystic feel about it, with every color of the rainbow sprinkled about, giving it a lasting beauty. I don't think my description can even do it justice. It's definitely something you must see yourself to really appreciate its beauty. Day 91. I was led to the training hall by Jonathan. There inside stood 4 other Dreamwalkers.
Do not worry. The 4 Dreamwalkers you see here are here for our protection. You see, today you will summon your guardian. From this day forward, I cannot speak the name of your guardian. This name is for you and you alone. You will not see your guardian as you saw it last, because it was not summoned by you, but by the four you see here. Based on the deepness of your connection and what you envision within you, will determine the form your guardian takes. If the summoning fails, your guardian will go on a rampage, and since we cannot speak its name, we must quell his rage. Do not interfere. You getting injured in any way will only further enrage your guardian. If the summoning is successful, you must do as I say. Face your guardian and place your hand upon your heart and speak these words. Say your guardian's name. I am the master of my dreams, and this is my domain. I have summoned thee. Please accept me as your master. Once your guardian appears, extend the hand you had on your heart out to your guardian. Do not break your gaze upon your guardian. Follow it wherever it moves. Do not stop until your guardian responds with its answer. Should your guardian accept from henceforth, you need only whisper its name for it to appear.
Jonathan said sternly, looking directly into my eyes. His gaze seemed to burn into my soul. This only hit home the gravity of this moment. I was then directed into the center of the four other dreamwalkers. I took a deep breath and cleared my mind. Placing my hand upon my heart, I whispered, Yude, I am the master of my dreams, and this is my domain. I have summoned thee. Please accept me as your master. Suddenly the feeling in the room changed. The room began to darken as a dark mist flowed around us. Flashes of light filled the room as an oval portal opened in front of me. As I looked in, I could make out another world on the other side. It was a huge mountainous area with trees and a huge volcano in the distance. I also saw a group of what looked like werewolves in the distance running towards me. As they got closer, they began to look more and more like regular wolves as they went from running upright to running on all fours. In all, there were 6 of them. They all stopped just short of the portal as they ran around each other in a circle, jumping about in a playful manner. From the group, the biggest one approached. As it came closer and closer, its features began to change. Its fur darkened and highlights of red appeared. The body of the wolf became a bit more muscular, and he grew in size. Before I knew it, the wolf stepped through the portal. The ground seemed to smolder with each step it took. Yude and I were now but a few feet from each other, keeping my eyes locked on it as I extended my arm out. Yude sniffed it and looked into my eyes, then walked away from me to each of the 4 dreamwalkers, sniffing them as it walked by and on to the other, until it had sniffed them all and stood before me.
These 4 summoned me before, did they not?
The voice coming from inside my head stated. It sounded like a female's voice. I only thought my response, yes. The voice in my head responded back,
I shall accept and serve as your guardian under one condition. You must survive with the pack in my world for 30 nights. Do you accept?
I responded without hesitation. Yes. Yude, looking back through the portal as the pack of other wolves stood watching from a distance, let out a ferocious howl, and the wolves turned and ran as the portal began to close. Once the portal was closed, Yude spoke.
Dreamwalkers, he has accepted my terms. In 30 days, he shall venture into my world and must survive for 30 days. Should he complete this task, I will remain his guardian, and should he fail, he will be sent back as best as I can manage.
With that, Yude vanished. I guess I messed up royally because the other 4 took off running and muttering as they left, and Jonathan had this look on his face that, well, let's just say he wasn't pleased.
What have you done? Did I tell you to accept any overtures? Come, we must seek the counsel of the 8.
I am not sure if they knew something was wrong or had already gotten word, but it was as if they were already waiting for us. Jonathan went on to explain what happened, and in hushed tones I could make out what was being said.
You know how Yude can be.
She must have finally shown her true self to the fledgling. Up until now, she has passed herself off as a male.
This would explain a few things.
In any event, do you think he is up to the task?
They all looked at me in unison with that question. It was as if they were pondering my very existence.
Vaxis, if I may.
One of the 8, adorned in a long green robe that looked like fish scales and white fur on the cuffs and collar, waved his hand as if to say, "Go ahead."
I say let him go. The Guardian asks because maybe it sees something in him that we do not and wishes to test him.
This may be so, but the last time this happened, the outcome was not good.
True, but what else can we do? He is accepted, so he must go.
After that, they all separated out of their circle and stood in a line before me.
Young fledgling, you have done something that is forbidden amongst Dreamwalkers. You have accepted a task from your guardian. Once accepted, this cannot be undone and must be seen through to the end. We will prepare you as best we can. Go with Jonathan. He will see to it that you are prepared.
Up until now, everything seemed to be going well, but somehow I had managed to mess things up royally. Jonathan walked over to me and placed his hand on my shoulder as he looked me up and down.
Well, that went oddly well. Maybe it's because they just don't want to make matters worse. You see, this happened once before. We have been forbidden to speak of it, but what I will say is that it was not good.
Now, as I thought about my predicament, I started to wonder how the hell would I be able to be gone for 30 days. Jonathan explained that to me as well. As he put it, while I am away, the great Dreamcatcher weaves a line from me that makes a doppelganger of me. This line can't be seen and serves to transfer information to the copy of myself so that it can respond and access my memories and knowledge. Upon my return, all the information will seamlessly be available to as if I had experienced it myself. The next 30 days were even more intense than my initial training. I did more meditation and combat training. Weapons and survival training were added to my regimen. At this rate, I don't know if I will be able to even walk through the damn portal when Yude returns. All in all, I believe they are doing what they feel is necessary for my completion of this task, so that whatever happened before doesn't happen again. I spent as much time with my father as I could. His name is Charles, but for obvious reasons, I have never called my father by his name. In some way, I guess it seems disrespectful. As always, we went fishing, talked, and sat around watching his favorite shows and movies. I wanted to take off from work, but I hadn't worked at my job long enough to get any vacation time. Even if I had, it would only be for a week, so my doppelganger would have to suffice. Hey, it's better than me just disappearing for 30 days. The day was finally upon us. I geared up in light armor, some provisions, medical supplies, and a talisman that Jonathan gave me that would allow me to communicate with him. I need only think of him while holding the talisman to make the connection. I was led back to the summoning room by Jonathan, the 4 Dreamwalkers from the first summoning, and 2 members of the Council of 8. The tension in the air was thick. As I looked around, everyone had these looks of pensive looks on their faces. You'd thought they were in a funeral procession. This did no good for my state of mind, so I just focused on the task at hand. Within moments of arriving, the room darkened just like before. A dark mist swirled around the room and flashes of light seemed to emit all around us. There, about 6 feet in front of me, the air swirled and a reddish portal began to open. You could feel the heat coming from the portal. Once it was open fully, a woman clad in red and black armor with boots and a red hood stepped through the portal. She walked gracefully across the floor in my direction. She was beautiful. Her black hair flowed from under the red hood a little past her shoulders. Her eyes shone like red rubies as my eyes met her gaze. Her body was slender yet curvaceous, but there was no doubt that she was strong and powerful. I could feel the weight of her power as she approached. Once face to face, she placed her hand on my chest and looked deeply into my eyes.
You won't be needing this.
She undid the backpack I was carrying with all my provisions. As it fell to the ground, she turned and began walking back towards the portal. I looked towards Jonathan as I followed her. Jonathan offered a salute only shared between Dreamwalkers. As we passed through the portal, she coyly looked over her shoulder with a gleam in her eye and said,
No provisions, no weapons. You are entering my realm now, Dreamwalker. Only the strong survive here. Prove your worth. Show me your strength, or fall.
And with that, the portal closed behind us.
Will Neil prove his worth, or fall? All will be revealed in the next chapter of Dreamwalkers. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And should you find yourself lost during your travels, let the light be your guide.